What's up? 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 Yo, I just made a video talking about how we need to stop faking it to make it, and here's why. Um, Honestly, I feel like faking it to make it is like is the wrong way of looking at things, and the reason why I say that is because like, where have you seen faking it to make it actually benefit anybody? Let's talk about it, bro. Like, there's no good evidence that says that that's actually working. Most of the people that we've seen fake it to make it have crashed. Whitney Houston, we've seen Britney Spears, we've seen uh, uh, you know uh, you know Amy Winehouse. We've seen all these people fake it to make it, and um, honestly, it's at the point where it's corrupt. They manipulate us to think that we have to be something we're not in order to fulfill some type of what they would call societalistic success. But that success is not really success. It's more like straying farther away from yourself. They don't really teach you the manufacturing properties that are actually going to get you somewhere. They just teach you to stray away from yourself, to become something better and bigger that you can actually see in the mirror. A lot of people don't even like to look in the mirror because they don't like what they see. They don't like to actually deal with their authentic selves, because most people were taught that they were ugly. Most people taught they were not worth it. Most people were taught that they're never going to amount to anything. Most people were taught that no matter how many times you try, it's never going to be successful. And so for that, they end up straying away from themselves and becoming something they're not, because they feel like their natural self, their authentic self, is being stripped, and then it's actually not legitimate, in order to become the person or the thing, or get the things that they actually desire. And that is actually a lie. So when people say fake it to make it, I feel like it's manipulation, because they don't actually tell you the whole truth. They tell you, falsity to make you feel scared about who you actually are. And I was thinking about this, and I was sitting down with myself. I was sleeping, and I woke up, and I just woke up with this revelation of like, yo, this is actually a lie. And I'm the kind of person where I'm never going to just be scared to say anything. I'm going to say the truth and nothing but the truth, because I feel like I'm tired of the bullshit lies. I'm tired of lying to myself, and I'm tired of the feelings that I have in my chest. And I don't want people to be confused the way I felt confused. So I basically just dissected it in my mind for a couple of hours, and I realized like everything that they told us about our true essence is fake. It's corrupt. We shouldn't fake it to make it. We should actually be our authentic selves. And this notion of like, oh, you gotta be, you gotta do this, you gotta do that. Hi, what's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What can you do for me today? Just listen. Um, but what I was saying is that faking it to make it is really just it's a corrupt mindset. Like, yes, like you need to have confidence in order to do the things you want to do or whatever. But at the end of the day, it's not stripping yourself away from yourself. This duality complex is yes, we have multiple sides of ourselves, and yes, we have different aspects about ourselves, but going from one extreme to the next is not really what we're supposed to be doing. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's about gaining the confidence within, and the only way to gain confidence within is being reliable for yourself and your authentic self, and nothing but yourself. You know what I mean? Like, a lot of people will say like, you know for instance, like people that are celebrities, they go into this notion of like, they come in as they are, and they're 100% themselves, and then like 3 years, 4 years down the line, you see a whole different perspective and a whole different side to them, that you go from that to that. Like, why are you like this now? Like, you're not even yourself anymore. And we see this time and time again, and I feel like that's why it's a lie. Like, this whole perception of like losing yourself to gain something within yourself is not even the truth. And most people that gain this success, they fall short. Like, most of them start taking drugs, they start doing things that they don't want to do, they start to get manipulated by their own lies, because they don't even know who they are. They started living a double life and started losing themselves through that notion. And I feel like that is so That's so sad, and that's also because people are manipulative, and people start to say like, "Oh, you're not worth it," or "You're not this. You need to become this to in order to succeed at this." And it's like you're already enough. Like you're already enough, and the only reason why you're not enough is because you don't believe that you're enough. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. You don't believe that you're enough. And so the fact that you don't believe it, it's like you go farther and farther and farther away from yourself, and then by the time you know it, you don't even know who you are. And this is why I talk in my videos and I say like, we really got to find who we are. What is your point? Basically what my point is stop faking it to make it. There's a fucking gnat in here, bro. Stop faking it to make it. Like you have to realize that there's a point in time where, yes, you're going to be scared. Yes, you're going to have insecurities. Yes, you're going to be afraid. But what I'm trying to say is like, especially for the younger generation, it's like everybody's trying to be something they're not. And basically what I'm saying is that we have to go back to the root and find who we actually are. Yes. Don't fake it to make it, learn to earn. Exactly. You have to learn yourself. You have to understand who you actually are. But a lot of people don't even want to do that because they were trained to that they're not good enough, that they're never going to see, they're never going to amount to anything. So they try to put this persona on, and this persona is just like false. And that's why people are dying and people are killing each other and people are whatever, because they're trying to act tough and they're not even that person. Because behind closed doors, there's somebody that like, bro, they're a completely different person behind closed doors. But once they step out on the street, they put that mask up, they put this false persona on because they feel like they gotta fake it to make it to become successful in this world. And then they realize when they get older, they fall short. They don't even know who they are. And it's I feel like at one point, especially since I'm a musician, a lot of people are told, come up with a stage name, and they start to really embody that persona and that illusion that they put themselves in. And I wouldn't say it's an illusion. Yes, like, having a stage name and having all this stuff is cool. But it gets to a point where you start to believe your own narrative. My parents are divorced. I'm sorry about that, bro. And I feel like a lot of people go through a lot of things, especially, even in relationships. A lot of people try to act, especially men. I'm not gonna lie. Like, a lot of men are told that, not saying their authentic self is not enough, but a lot of men are perceived to be this person that they're really not. Like, for instance, like you have to be tough and you have to, do this and you have to do that and you have to be, a person that, can pay all the bills, and you have to be this person that's, mighty fine, and you have to be this person that has muscles and that is, attracted to society and all this stuff. And it's just like that also is like, why, guys have big egos and their egos are flared. And I'm not saying girls are not the same. Girls are, on their own spectrum of, this false narrative, like who they are. And then you see people, you know when you get behind closed doors too, it's like, like, I'm not this person. I just feel like I have to be this person because the people that are around, don't really accept who I actually am. The image, the top student in the class gets good grades because he secretly cheats thinking it's a game. Exactly. 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 You get it. And it's this, I feel like it's just this narrative of lies, bro. Like, we live in such a world where it's like we're lying to, not even the people that we love, we're lying to ourselves. And by the time we realize it, we can't really, manage to get anything back. We can't. Have you ever watched the movie Monsters University? Yes, because the main character, who is the scariest monster, is a genie, uh, genuine coward on the inside. He looks big, but he's just, yeah, exactly, bro. I've watched that movie multiple times actually, and I've seen it for myself. What you're saying exactly, like it's like these big powerful characters are just they have no substance inside, or they don't understand who they are, and they feel inadequate. And I think that inadequacy, a lot of people feel inadequate because they don't know who they are. And that's why I'm saying, like, get back to yourself, get back to who you are, because you know, it takes more strength. It actually takes more strength to, you know, figure out who you are. I know it takes a lot longer, but it's so much more beneficial to find who you actually are and take the time on yourself than to create a different persona and live through that persona forever and then never being able to find yourself, because it's harder to gain back your authenticity after you lose it, because it's like a puzzle that's scattered into a billion pieces, and they're all, you know, they're all in different areas of your life that you have to come back to yourself. And it's just like, bro, that's torture. I don't want to be tortured, and I don't feel like anybody should be tortured. So stop torturing yourself. A lot of people just want the fame but don't focus on. Exactly. And this is why I'm saying this, just for, awareness, because I'm only 23. I'm not, I'm in that middle age of, like, seeing people find their career, find themselves, but I'm also seeing people, either go one direction or go the other. And it's sad, because it's like, bro, like, exactly, people just want fame, but they don't know what it comes with. And most of the people that are famous don't even know who they are. 100%. They fell for that narrative. They fell for the lie of, like, faking it to make it. They fell for the lie of, like, oh, I have to be something I'm not. And we just keep repeating that into society, and I don't think that's the right way to go about it. I don't actually think that's going to be beneficial, and I think that's what's making it worse. And that's why people are just doing fucking stupid shit, because it's like, people, like, if you would have said, like, this person would have done that in 5 years, that, like, that's not really who they are. They're just being like that because they feel like they need to be like that. And it's like, bro, you don't need to do that. Like, you feel like you do because that's gaining your confidence. Like, there are two beautiful diamonds. Diamond A uh, was found and genuinely processed. Diamond B is literally plastic designed to. Would you rather Diamond A? Bro, I feel like Diamond A is the rawest. It's the true form. Diamond B is literally plastic designed to, yeah, nah, bro. I don't want no false shit. And that's the thing, like, you know, people want value, but they're not even valuable themselves. And I'm not saying that they aren't. Like, you have the potential to be valuable. Everybody is valuable. Everybody is beautiful in their own way. But it's like we strip ourselves from that because of the lies that people place in our life. And it's like, bro, what are we doing? Like, I honestly, I don't know at this point. But yeah, that's what I wanted to say. I really just wanted to say, like, don't lose yourself through this time in life. I know that it can be a little tricky to find your footing, especially since we're in a time of just, like, chaos, bro. Like, this world is so, this world does not make sense. Like, how, I don't like to get into politics. I really don't like to get into politics because, like, everybody has an opinion and everybody's opinion is valid. But for me in particularly, I don't understand how Trump, like, one, is still in office, but then I'm not a Democratic or a Republican. I'm just independent. I like to say what I like to say when I like to say it, but I don't understand how, like, Donald Trump, like, is president, right? He has, like, 39 felonies. None of them really got, like, charged, right? Like, he didn't really even get any penalty. And he's still, president, and he went into Venezuela to take somebody else's, you know, and I think of it as it's just all trolling. Like, this whole world, if you can't tell by now, is a lie, and the fact that people fall for these lies. I'm not saying that he's a bad guy. I'm not saying that he's a good guy. I leave that up to God's judgment. I see what I see, and I keep it to myself. But there comes a point in time where you need to really see the underneath, because it's like, at the end of the day, it's like, fuck that he's their president. It's just the lies that they're portraying. Like, it doesn't make any fucking sense. Satan has really got this world in his grip. Yep, exactly. And he's doing everything to make everyone distant from God. Most people who want fame are self-centered, which Satan is hoping for. Exactly. You understand and you understand, because that's exactly my point. I feel like this whole notion of fame, it's like, why are we even putting people on a pedestal when we should be putting God on a pedestal? You know, he's the one that created us. He's the one that, gave us life. He's the one that, keeps us here on earth, and constantly cleanses our heart to, not get corrupted by such greed, such jealousy, such anger, such, resentment, all these things that, will put you in Satan's grip. I think that a lot of people don't care because they don't know who they are. And they don't see the, people need to see to believe. That's not the case, bro. Like, believing is seeing. I've always told myself that. And I try to keep myself away from all the drama. And yes, it's a lonely life, but when you walk uh in a different I was gonna say something at the same time. When you walk in a different direction than most, God never said it was gonna be easy. It's a lonely road in the sense of, uh trying to be at peace. But everybody wants chaos, so they'll take that risk. And I'm just not willing to take the risk of losing everything. And it's not everything on this earth, it's everything, you know, encompassed around us. Because we're not just, humans, we're, human beings, spiritual beings living a human experience. So it's like, you think about it, you're not just losing, people think they're just losing a house. They're just losing you're losing an empire, bro. Like, God is the empire, and you're choosing to give it all up. And not saying that you can't go back, but it's harder to go back when you start doing crazy things. And I feel like a lot of people don't want to go back. I can't wait till this world. I can't wait till the world of sin comes to an end, and then Jehovah will finally set the kingdom on earth straight. There will be order and unity. Exactly. He always said he's gonna come back. He never said when. A lot of people don't believe it because they can't see it. But the thing about it is, it's not going to show the way they think it is. And then that's the scary part. A lot of people think they have time. A lot of people think that this is a game. God never said it was a game. He always said, uh, you know, yeah, you can have fun. Yeah, you can, you're a human. You're not perfect. And he specified that. But the thing about it, the thing about it is that, people take everything as a joke, and then when it actually happens, they cry and they weep, but they realize it's too late. Yo, what's up? And I just think that this whole thing of, portraying yourself of fame and fortune and this and that and all people are focused on the wrong thing. People are focused on the wrong things. They're focused on you know just stupidity. And I'm not saying it's, everybody finds different things pleasing. I'm not gonna lie, but it comes to a point where it's right in our face. Yes, I read my Bible from time to time. I'm kind of like, in and out. I could be doing more. uh I used to go to Catholic school. I was always in the church, so I believe I'm more spiritual than religious. I feel like religion is kind of also uh, it's corrupt in its own way. Let's just say that. I'm not saying that it's bad, but I'm just saying the way the new generation has made religion hasn't really been easy on the young folk. And I feel like at the end of the day, everybody should be accepted for who they are, regardless of their past or the present or uh, their anything. And I feel like there's a lot of judgment within just everything, and I feel bad because that's the lies that creep in that shouldn't. Um, so yeah, I'm a little bit of, I kind of just do what I do. I'm on my own beat. I have, what is that saying? Um, I can't think right now. I'm all over the place. I move to the beat of my own drum. Yeah, but I think there comes a point where I'm just trying to make people understand that you don't need to change for anybody. God's not looking for you to change. God's not looking for you to, be perfect. God's not looking for you to, split yourself into your authentic self and your persona. It's not about that. We all have different aspects of ourselves. It's more about being able to tolerate yourself fully, your good parts, your bad parts, the parts you don't understand, and to be able to sustain something within yourself that is not uh, corrupt. To be able to forgive yourself for the things you do, and to be able to help people. You do know that at James 4:8, God wants us to draw close to Him, which means a regular and consistent understanding of His Word, the Bible. Yes, I do understand that, and I think that like I said, a lot of a lot of things about the Bible are true. You just have to find the codes. When you read the Bible, uh, there's a lot of hidden codes that people won't understand. It's like it's rereading and understanding, and so I think that everything has a time and place. I don't think forcing yourself to do things is good too, but especially when you don't understand certain things or you're still figuring yourself out, especially for the younger generation. Uh, when it happens, it happens. There's a timing and place for everything, and I feel like a lot of the older generation, was very forceful about certain things. And I'm not saying it was right or wrong. I'm just saying that I feel like they could have been a little bit more softer in approach. And I feel like that's why a lot of people don't not saying a lot of people don't read the Bible. There's a lot of people that do, but I feel like a lot of the younger generation just doesn't. Not saying everybody doesn't, but most of them just don't, because I feel like they feel pressured and they feel like they're inadequate, and for that they don't reach out uh, the way they need to, because they're scared of not knowing. What God really wants is us to His good qualities. Exactly, when God created us, He said, "Let us make man in our image." Of course, everyone is different, but it's better to obtain wisdom than gold. Oh yeah, gold is always some. I mean, gold is always something that's gonna come and go. You see what I'm saying? Gold is temporary. Wisdom is knowledge. Knowledge, it's like energy. Energy can't be created or destroyed. So it's like, once you have wisdom, it can't be taken away from you. Even if you pass over, you are still your soul. Your soul is still intact. So it's like, that wisdom is going to carry on to itself. That's why learning lessons and learning things is a part of that wisdom. You have to go through things to understand certain aspects of the world and yourself and other people. And I think that's the beauty of it. um I've never been the one to be like, I used to be around people, and it's funny. I used to be around people who were very materialistic, very self-centered, very like, I need a Gucci bag and I need this and I need that. And I've always been the type of person who wasn't like that. Like, as you can tell, like, I don't really wear flashy clothes. Uh I don't really care about what other people care about. Not saying that that's a good or bad thing, but I think to myself, like you said about the gold, it's not. It's that can be taken away from you at any point. People think that people think that they're bringing all this stuff with them. They're not bringing anything with them. Like, you're not bringing anything but you. And I think people forget about that. Like, you know, you are the prize. Like, you are that gold. If you would just, give yourself time to be that. And you're not just the gold for yourself, you're gold for everybody else. But a lot of people, get corrupted a lot too soon or a little too early, and they never get to help the people that they were meant to. It's a chain reaction. We're all connected in every way. We're a mirror effect to each other. So it's like, you know, when you think about it, your role on earth is not to acquire fortune just to be greedy. It's to acquire fortune to help people. And fortune isn't really fortune, because everything of this world is supposedly of the enemy. It's about using it for good, using your power, the power that you have, the understanding that you have to help the next generation, to help the next man aside you, because the more you help, the more you progress in a different level. um you get on with what I have been a YouTuber, you know, like I love her. Anyways, bro, you have a good. I thank you. I appreciate your word, bro. Um, Stay safe and God bless. Um, but as I was saying, I think that um, we're all just living in a world that is just so short yet so expansive. You know, we can expand in so many ways. We just don't give ourselves the opportunity to, and a lot of us lose ourselves a lot too soon. You know, I feel like when I was younger, I was not like this. You know what I mean? I'm still growing too. You know, I'm not even older yet, but I think that when I was in high school and I was growing up, not saying that I wasn't like this. I was just not awoke. Like I didn't have no care in the world. Like I was going through so many things, and I had like this victim mentality, and I'm working on that. But I used to have a really bad victim mentality because I went through a lot of shit, and a lot of people do. And so we gain this victim mentality, and then most people, gain this victim mentality, and they're like, why should I even help people? Because nobody helped me. And it's like, that's the wrong way to think about things. Like, we have to get to a point in life where um, we we sh- not I don't know. We have to get to a point in the life where we basically just surrender. You know what I mean? Like I had to stop doing what I was doing. I had to let go of so many things. I had to put my pride aside. I had to just be you know set free in a way. Set myself free from the drama and the stress and the worry and the doubt, and uh, it took everything out of me. But God gave me the strength, and then what He says is true. There's times where I don't even know how I'm still walking, I'm still talking, how I'm still breathing, and it's all because of Him. I think it's that raw understanding of like when you really understand like the depths of like where we are at, how we got here doesn't make any sense. It's like we woke up and we're just popped here. Like we're like, oh, we're here, But in reality, it's like uh, so much more than that. You know, um, we just don't have the comprehension to understand it. So. But yeah, go watch my new YouTube video. It will explain a lot more of what I was saying about faking it to make it, and why I said what I said. Thank you guys for watching this live. I really appreciate you. Go like my Instagram. Go follow me on Instagram. My Instagram is just_J Rhymes. If you want to see more content, I got you. This year is gonna be a different year. We're gonna really talk. We're really gonna have people understand different perspectives of this life, and I can't wait to make more content. I'm also about to come out with an album January 16th, so stay tuned for that. And yeah, peace.